Hi, I'm Ryan with Front End Audio, here with Rob and Ashley of Phoenix Audio, who's nice enough to stop by the shop today and give us a first-hand look at the new Scion summing mixer. So we wanted to give Robin the chance to talk with all of you and let you know a little bit about it and what makes it better, different, and well, also a little bit of the same of what you might expect from, say, the Nicerizer series. So, Robin, if you could tell us a little bit about this.
Sure. So Phoenix Audio have been making summing mixers now for about 20 or so years. I think we were one of the first companies to actually kind of start making summing mixers way back in the early 2000s. So those products were called the Nicerizer, and this is the latest incarnation of that, improvement, etc. So basically, like the previous units, it's a 16-channel unit. You have 16 channels of Class A discrete summing mixer. Unlike the other units where you had 2 outs, we kind of wanted to make this a lot more different and give it a lot more features. So this actually has 8 outputs. I'll get into that in a sec. So again, you have 16 channels of Class A discrete input buffer amps. The red knobs are step pan controls, and we think the panning is really, really cool. Analog panning, that is. Much better than doing digital panning in the box. One of the cool features is the white push-in buttons, which we call drive, and that basically drives it much harder through the analog circuitry. So it increases the level, but it also pushes it harder, so it basically fattens, thickens things up, makes everything have a lot more presence. And what we've done in this is basically we've designed 2 new Class A discrete amplifiers, which are much more colored than anything we've ever designed before. They are feeding 2 sets of our classic Phoenix Audio transformers, and then they're feeding another 2 sets of transformers. So basically the color element is that you have a double transformer sound, which is really, really cool.
Definitely. So you really wanted to take what the Nicerizer provided and take it to the next level, giving people more control over the type of sonic sculpting.
Exactly. We wanted to really have like a hot rodded version, but have something a lot more colored. So in terms of the 8 outputs I mentioned, we have main outs, which are controlled by this switch on the front. You have clean outs, which are controlled by this one, and the clean outs are super clean Class A discrete amplifiers. No transformers, no artifacts, nothing, no coloration. And then you have a mix out control there, and that controls the mix outs. And the mix outs are really where the kind of coolness of this box kind of happens. So with this mix control switch there, basically what you can do is it works like a blended control or a wet and dry style thing, where you can basically mix from super clean to super colored and anywhere in between, because it's basically a pot that can move however you want. So you can have any degree of coloration or non-coloration in there. So it makes it super flexible. So typically most summing mixers have like one sound or maybe something else. They do like another trick. This, because you have that dial, has so many different color or tonal possibilities.
That's very cool because, yeah, one of the things I like to do when I'm trying to inject saturation onto my mixes or, drum bus or whatever, is I do like to push it really hard and get that defined sound I want, and then back off and
totally
find that proper, kind of like a guitar amp. You get it teetering to where it never distorts, but it's like really alive kind of thing. So, and I also see that you have inserts on the rear of the unit.
We have master inserts on the back, and we have a bus link as well, so you can link 2 units together for a 32-channel system. I actually tried to link one of our thetas as well, and that also works. So
nice.
If you had a theta and you were using it for, say, tracking, you could also then use it for mixing to create like a sort of 24-channel system, which might be cool. We also have the super iron outputs on the back, which is the double transformer sound. What we wanted to do when we came up with the concept is basically have something that's super flexible for engineers, producers, that sort of thing. So if you're producing like an R&B guy or a pop guy, you can have it a little more colored. If you're doing heavy rock or hip hop or something, you can have it a lot more colored. So it gives those producers so many more tonal options rather than this is my sound. Now you have a whole palette to kind of mix around with. And because we have the 8 outputs on the back, you could literally print 4 different sounding mixes simultaneously. So if you had a client come in and the client wasn't entirely sure what he wanted, you could literally give them 4 different mixes, take it away and say, pick which one you want. You want the clean, you want the colored, you want somewhere in between, go for it.
That's very cool. That was actually a question that was in
Okay.
the back of my mind: is are these all parallel so that you can see?
Yeah.
Because auditioning, and not only that, be going to different media. Like if you wanted to actually print something to tape versus also back to the
Yeah.
DAW, and you wanted to check out. So that's a really cool feature of this.
And the other thing we did on this one was we basically added 3 super high quality attenuated switch controls. So basically these are now 2 to 3 dB increments as you flick through the switch, and they are super accurate in terms of biasing to 0.1 of a dB. So your mix will always be perfect, will not be heavy on the left or right, which can happen sometimes when you have a stereo control. So we also have stereo width on this unit. Stereo width is a really cool effect that basically you can make the mix sound super narrow or ultra wide. It's about 25% more width, so it just kind of makes tracks feel more 3D-ish, puts air in between individual instruments. It's just a really, really cool effect.
Very cool. Sounds like a very impressive unit that has a lot of features, way more features than the extreme majority of summing
Yeah.
mixers out there. So very cool. Was there any final mentions that you wanted to?
Well, so these are shipping now. These are $28.99, and hopefully people will really like them.
I have no doubt personally they
Cool.
will, but I'm a big fan of Phoenix, as you
Cool.
know, since
Yeah.
that's what my home studio is surrounded by.
Cool.
But I appreciate you, and everybody here at Front End Audio appreciates you coming
Cool.
by
Thanks a
and
lot.
taking a moment to talk
Thanks
about this.
for having me.
Thank you. So for more information on the Scion, all the great products brought to you by Phoenix Audio, and for all your pro audio needs, please do check us out on the web at frontendaudio.com. Thank you.